that growth here in the community and provide physical, the emotional, all those aspects for people to feel comfortable living. And our kids went to school here, and so we decided that we were going to participate in the community, feel safe living here, and so that's kind of where I'm at. Olds is a great place to live. Olds is growing, and we need to respond. So we've lived in this community for nearly a quarter of a century. We moved here knowing this was a great community, and our kids went to school here, and so we decided that we were going to participate in the community, whether it was through our church or whether it was through volunteer organizations. And so my wife and I, over the past quarter of a century, did things with our kids and by ourselves to volunteer to help around the town. One of the things that we looked at, that I looked at, I guess, was being a part of the co-op board. We really enjoyed being on the co-op, and so I was conscripted in a very nice way to join the co-op board. And so when I did that, I found that I could give something back to the community a little bit, be on the co-op board, help the co-op grow, and it was a good experience. And so I've been there for 9 years, and I'm currently the president. I've been so for the past 3 or so years. But beyond that, once our kids moved away, and I realized that there would be other things to do, and still having a great sense of community in my heart for Olds, I decided that, maybe now's the time to run for town council. I had some advice given to me many years back, about perhaps getting involved in the civic affairs of the city or town where I would reside, and so I followed through on that advice. And so I decided to run for town council. And I did that probably thinking that there would be an election, but to be acclaimed is still a great honor, and it's a great privilege to serve. And I really wasn't sure how involved town council would be. I knew that they had council meetings. I had previously come to council meetings, and so I had at least a basic idea of what was happening. And so I knew that with my background as a principal, because I was an administrator for 23 years, I could lend some expertise and some knowledge to the position as town councilor. And so I decided that, I would put my foot forward, and here I am. Now, as a new councilor, it's not just sitting down as a council. There are many other activities in which the town is involved. For example, I sit on the Mountain View Seniors Housing Committee. I sit on the Fire Committee. I'm on the Parkland Community Planning Services Committee. And the Library Committee as well too. And so it's just not town council. There are many things to do with town council, but it's beyond that, and I don't think that's what I recognized. And so in the month of November, December, it was just a flurry of activity. And since about the middle of January, things have kind of slowed down, or I'm able to make the meetings, and I made all the meetings, but I make the meetings and be a part of those particular committees and help the town through those means. And so it carries a pretty big weight around trying to help these committees and being a part of town council, reporting to town council, and working with the members of town council. And I should say something to the public at this point about that. We weren't necessarily just thrown in, not knowing anybody. We took a day and a half on a retreat to get to know each other, to understand the basics of being on town council, and to formulate some strategies. And in fact, we just met about a week ago continuing to talk about our strategic plans as a town councilor and as a town council, and what we wanted to see happen in Olds. Olds is a great place to live. Olds is growing, and we need to respond to that growth here in the community and provide the social, the physical, the emotional, all those aspects for people to feel comfortable living here, for people to feel safe living here, and so that's kind of where I'm at. And our kids went to school here, and so we decided that we were going to participate in the community, feel safe living here, and so that's kind of where I'm at.
Olds Community TV, your go-to channel for news and information in Olds, Alberta.